If a player finishes with a 5, and there's the little winning stroke for a player.
Unpleasant golf tournament I've seen in my life. I mean, the man who designed this golf course had to have one leg shorter than the other.
You've probably heard that Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time. But what if one man was a better ball striker? That's not attacking Tiger's legacy. Tiger is the most talented golfer ever. But according to Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and the legends who played with both men, Ben Hogan was the greatest pure ball striker. This isn't about majors or career records. It's about one thing. Who could dictate the golf ball better? Who had more control and perfection? That's what we're exploring today. Gary Player competed directly against Hogan in the 1950s and watched Tiger dominate the sport decades later. He made a fundamental distinction that changed how we think about greatness in golf. He said Tiger has more natural talent, but Hogan had more perfection. Player isn't saying Tiger is worse or inferior in any way. He's clearly saying talent and perfection are fundamentally different things. Talent is natural ability and athletic improvisation. Perfection is engineered mechanically. It's a swing built specifically to eliminate variables, not to depend on them for success. Hogan didn't build a swing that could do 1,000 different things depending on feel. He built a swing that did one specific thing absolutely flawlessly every single time, without exception. The foundation of this entire argument rests on one legendary story that has become central to golf lore. Player watched Hogan practice for an hour at a tournament range, hitting hundreds of balls methodically with different clubs and approaches. When he walked out to look at the divot pattern left behind on the practice range, he found something truly extraordinary and remarkable. You could cover all of Hogan's divots with a single matchbook. That's not luck or coincidence. That's mechanical perfection at a level that most golfers can't even begin to comprehend or imagine. What does this remarkable precision actually mean in technical terms? To hit such identical divots repeatedly, 3 critical biomechanical things must synchronize perfectly every single time, without exception. First, your low point control has to be absolutely precise and consistent. Your swing must bottom out at the same exact millimeter on every single repetition. If it bottoms out 1 millimeter early, you take extra turf. 1 millimeter late, you miss the ground entirely. Second, your angle of attack must be identical across shots. The steepness at which your club descends can't vary at all. If you swing steeper, you dig deeper into the turf. If shallower, you take less turf overall. Third, your path stability must be completely locked. Your club's direction has to be constant, whether it's traveling inside out or outside in relative to your target line. Tiger Woods was never known for this kind of robotic repeatability in his practice patterns. That wasn't his genius at all. Tiger's genius was versatility and shot adaptation. He could change his divot pattern at will based on the shot required. He could dig a trench to hit a high fade with maximum spin, or pick the ball clean to hit a stinger. Tiger manipulated the club to fit the specific shot needed. That's incredible athletic talent. But Hogan did something fundamentally different in his approach. He built a swing that produced a singular, flawless interaction with the turf every single time without variation. And that brings us to the testimony of Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus won 18 major championships. You'd think he'd protect his own legacy, but Nicklaus was absolutely clear. He said Ben Hogan was the greatest ball striker he ever saw. He didn't just hit the ball. He dictated exactly where it was going, down to the inch. That word, dictated, is crucial to this comparison. Most professional golfers manage their ball flight. They play percentages and accept normal error margins. They aim away from trouble and take what the game gives. Nicklaus himself wrote extensively about playing a reliable fade and managing misses. He viewed golf as a series of calculated risks. Hogan was different. He had active command over aerodynamics beyond standard course management. His ball flight was piercing. It rose slowly, flattened out, and held its line against wind. This wasn't passive reaction. It was completely manufactured. Nicklaus let the clubhead weight dictate his rhythm. Hogan imposed his will on the club. His swing was disciplined, where the club was just an extension of his left arm. That's the fundamental difference between reaction and dictation. The one iron is the ultimate test of a ball striker because it has almost no loft and a tiny sweet spot. It exposes every flaw in your swing. A slight mishit results in a low, stinging vibration. Hogan's most famous photograph shows his one-iron approach to the 18th at Merion during the 1950 U.S. Open. He needed the green to force a playoff, which he won. Nicklaus also famously carried a one-iron, using it at the 1967 U.S. Open at Baltusrol to seal his victory. But Tiger Woods and modern players abandoned the one-iron for 5 woods and hybrids. While course design and ball technology play a role, it's also an admission that the one iron is too difficult for most modern swings. The fact that Hogan mastered a club that modern professionals deem too hard validates Nicklaus's claim about dictation. Hogan could dictate flight with a butter knife blade with 0 offset, whereas modern players rely on the forgiveness of hybrids. Byron Nelson grew up caddying with Hogan and holds the untouchable record of 11 consecutive tournament victories in a single season, a mark that many believe will never be equaled. He provided crucial testimony that is purely auditory in nature, but incredibly compelling nonetheless. He said Ben Hogan's ball made a distinctly different sound compared to every other player. It was like a rifle shot echoing across the range. Most of us hit the ball. Ben compressed it into the earth with precision. That specific description, the characteristic rifle shot, appears everywhere in Hogan literature throughout the decades and ages. It wasn't the click of standard iron shots of that era, or the thwack of modern titanium club heads on golf balls. It was a sharp, high-decibel crack created by extreme ball compression and perfect center-face contact that produced acoustic uniqueness. To understand this distinctive sound clearly, you need the material context and historical background. Hogan played wound balata balls with a liquid center, rubber winding, and soft cover. Modern, solid core balls like the Pro V1 are harder and more resilient. When you strike a soft balata ball with steel and create a rifle shot sound, you're delofting significantly at impact. Hogan turned a 4-iron into a 2-iron dynamically through the hitting zone. He trapped the ball between the club face and the turf, compressing it before it left the face. When the ball regained its shape, it made an explosive sound. That's the sound of efficiency, not just power. Sam Snead noted the same distinctive quality with Hogan's driver, calling it the brisk report of a rifle shot. Even Titanic Thompson, a legendary gambler whose financial survival depended on evaluating accuracy, recognized this unique sound. He noted the crack like a small bore rifle shot. For a gambler making money on reading physical feats, recognizing the unique physics of Hogan's strike was a matter of financial survival. Ben Crenshaw, a historian of golf and 2-time Masters champion, offers a visual metaphor that explains Hogan's strike. He said Hogan didn't just swing at the ball, he shaved the grass. His club face control was so precise that he literally eliminated the left side of the golf course entirely. Shaving refers to a shallow angle of attack through the turf. In modern golf, the prevailing technique used by Tiger Woods is bomb and gouge. Players hit down steeply on the ball, taking deep divots to generate spin and control out of the rough. This technique is effective for power but requires immense physical strength to move the club through the turf. Hogan's divots were described as bacon strips, thin, uniform, and shallow. This means the club head was traveling almost level with the ground through impact. This shallow angle is harder to maintain because the margin for error is non-existent. 2 millimeters early is a fat shot, 2 millimeters late is a thin shot. Tiger's margin was bigger because he swung steeper. Hogan's ability to pick the ball or take matchbook divots implies a spatial awareness that borders on supernatural. It's the difference between a butcher chopping meat and a surgeon making precise incisions. Crenshaw's second point is the most technical argument for Hogan's superiority. The hook is the better player's curse. It starts right but curves violently left due to a closed club face. It's uncontrollable and runs hot. Early in his career, Hogan was plagued by a destructive hook that nearly ended his tour career. Then came Hogan's legendary secret. He adopted a weak grip with his left hand, turned left, and a cupped left wrist at the top. With these mechanics, Hogan could rotate hard, and the face would remain square or slightly open. He removed the left side from play entirely. Tiger fought the lefts throughout his career. His bowed wrist was powerful but prone to shutting down. This led to the Tiger two-way miss, block right, or snap hook left. That was his Achilles heel. Hogan solved the geometry of the miss. Tiger managed it. By eliminating half the course, Hogan swung with total freedom. The wrist position at the top explains players' perfection versus talent claim directly. Hogan played with a cupped left wrist. This opens the club face relative to the swing plane. To square it at impact, Hogan had to bow his wrist aggressively while rotating his body. This is a mechanical fail-safe. If he spun too fast, the ball would fade more. It wouldn't hook back. Tiger played with a flat or bowed wrist. This shuts the club face. To square this at impact, the player must hold off the release or rotate incredibly fast to keep the face from turning over. This is a power mechanism that stores more energy but relies entirely on timing. Players' argument is that Hogan's mechanics were inherently more reliable and repeatable. Tiger's mechanics required exceptional talent and hand-eye coordination. If Tiger's timing was off by a fraction of a second, face shut and the ball hooked. If Hogan's timing was off, the ball simply faded a few yards. Hogan's perfection was achieved through the mechanical removal of critical timing variables. This is the core distinction. Hogan visualized a pane of glass resting on his shoulders with his head poking through. The club should travel along this single plane. This created a flatter, more rotational swing. By keeping his arms pinned to his torso and rotating, Hogan created a wide circular arc. Tiger utilized a more upright swing with distinct vertical forces. He would squat and jump through impact. While this generated immense power, it introduced a vertical variable that Hogan largely avoided. Hogan's head remained eerily level throughout the swing, contributing to the consistency of his low point. The biomechanical efficiency of Hogan's strike is evidenced by durability. His swing was rotational and easy on the joints. He competed at the highest level into his 50s despite a serious car accident. Tiger's swing, with violent torque and the snap of the left knee, eventually destroyed his body. Multiple knee surgeries and back fusions followed. Gary Player, a fitness fanatic his entire life, views perfection as sustainable. A swing that breaks the body is imperfect, regardless of distance. The 1950s irons had erratic centers of gravity and sweet spots the size of a dime. Hogan's Apex irons were blades with zero perimeter weighting. A strike 5 millimeters off would lose 15 yards and vibrate painfully in your hands. Tiger played modern CNC milled blades with optimized centers. Solid core balls flew straighter and faster. Hogan's consistency was achieved despite inferior equipment. Modern players are aided by technology. If Tiger hit slightly thin, technology got it to the green. If Hogan hit it thin, it was short. His consistency with inferior equipment testifies to a superior quality of strike. 1950s fairways weren't manicured carpets. They were clover, fescue, and dirt. The ball sat down. Clean shots from tight lies required precise ball-first contact. Modern fairways are cut short so the ball sits up like on a tee. This makes it easier to sweep the ball cleanly. Hogan's ability to compress the ball was born of necessity. He had to trap it to extract from bad lies. This makes his matchbook precision even more remarkable statistically. Gary Player uses the term reality to describe Hogan's practice sessions and dedication. It's not just about time spent, it's about cognitive intensity and complete focus. Hogan was silent, almost monastic on the range. He was digging it out of the dirt. Tiger revolutionized golf fitness completely. His practice was holistic. Hogan's practice was purely mechanical. He treated the swing as an engineering problem. Player observed Hogan for an hour without seeing a bad shot. That's a trance-like state of flow. Hogan's drive for perfection was born of fear. He practiced to eliminate the bad shot. Tiger practiced to increase the probability of the great shot. Hogan wanted a swing that could not miss. Tiger wanted a swing that could win. Modern golf trends strongly toward bomb and gouge strategy. Hit it high, hit it far, and figure it out from the rough. Hogan's art of dictating trajectory is a dying skill now. Nicklaus's reverence for Hogan serves as an important warning. While the modern game gained distance significantly, it lost the nuance of flight control. Player's quote forces us to reevaluate what talent really actually means. Usually we ascribe talent to the person who makes it look easy. Tiger made it look easy, but Player suggests that the person who constructs a machine to bypass the need for ease possesses a superior perfection. It elevates learned skill over natural gift. If you found this breakdown extremely helpful, subscribe to the channel. Comment below and let us know who you think controlled the golf ball better. Was it Hogan's mechanical perfection or Tiger's athletic brilliance? The comparison between Ben Hogan and Tiger Woods isn't about diminishing one to elevate the other. It's about taxonomy and categorization completely. Tiger Woods is the greatest winner and most complete golfer ever to grace the game. His 15 major championships and 82 tournament wins, achieved against deep modern fields, stand as definitive testament to his competitive genius and overall superiority in the game. But Gary Player's specific and nuanced claim that Hogan was the better pure ball striker, the superior mechanical ball striker, stands up to rigorous scrutiny when examined closely. Jack Nicklaus, the man with the most major championships ever won, concedes the title to Hogan, citing his ability to dictate flight down to the inch with machine-like precision. Byron Nelson's rifle shot description indicates a physics of compression that was unique to Hogan and never replicated by anyone else in tour history. Hogan's complete elimination of the left side via wrist mechanics provided a strategic advantage that Tiger's two-way miss never allowed him to achieve. The matchbook divot pattern represents a consistency, defies the natural entropy and randomness of outdoor golf. Ben Hogan treated the golf swing not as an athletic motion to be felt intuitively, but as a precise geometric puzzle to be solved with mathematical rigor and accuracy. According to Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and the ghosts of golf history spanning decades, he remains the only man who ever truly solved it with complete precision. Tiger Woods played the game of golf better than anyone in the entire history of the sport in terms of overall completeness. Ben Hogan struck the golf ball better than anyone in the entire history of the sport in terms of pure mechanical superiority. These are two truly different accomplishments that deserve separate recognition. Hit that like button if this analysis resonated with you. Subscribe for more deep dives into golf's greatest debates and historical mysteries. And tell us in the comments where you stand on this eternal timeless debate. Do you believe in Hogan's mechanical perfection or Tiger's natural athletic brilliance and raw talent? Thanks for watching this complete in-depth breakdown, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.